Recently, on this video, Boris Johnson, you're a nasty piece of work, I saw this comment, same as all MPs, self-serving. To which I replied, I've said it before and I'll say it again, that's like saying all cheese is the same. To which they cheekily replied, Political CUSTARD, thank you for agreeing. As all cars are cars, all people are people, all moons are moon, all cheese is cheese. I'm not sure if that's just ignorant or if they're trying to make a joke. If so, I didn't really get it, but it got me thinking, are all politicians the same? So I devised this, the awful politician measuring device. Let's start out with Labour MP for Coventry South, Zara Sultana, a campaigner for disadvantaged communities, free school meals and against male violence towards women. She's not really comparable to ex-Labour MP Jared O'Mara, who gave fraudulent expenses claims to fund his cocaine and alcohol lifestyle. These aren't average politicians. One seems okay, Zara Sultana, the other dishonest. So we'll put them either side of average, here and here. Now let's take Truss, responsible for blowing a hole in the economy with the disastrous mini-budget. Well, she has to be one of the worst PMs ever. Worse than Johnson? Well, perhaps, but in different ways. They were both willing to work with party donors to fleece the Treasury in favour of themselves and the ones that they serve. I would argue that this is like Jared, but on a larger scale. And with Johnson, I think I'm going to push him further towards awful just for holding those unlawful gatherings during lockdown. Here we have Chris Bryant. He seems like a great MP who regularly holds other politicians to account. But in 2004 he was found to have submitted excessive expenses claims on his second home. I don't think this is quite as bad as Jared, who made fraudulent claims, so I'm putting him here between average and Jared. Then we have Suella, one of the meanest and incompetent MPs ever to serve. She was sacked by Liz Truss for breaching ministerial code, basically sending official documents via her own personal email. But with that scandal swept to one side, the other notable blemish as an MP was that of using her position to get a one-to-one driving awareness course after being caught speeding. On paper she doesn't look quite as bad as Johnson. Perhaps she's worse than Truss though. Finally we have Caroline Lucas, an advocate for green policies, campaigning against austerity, against male violence and a supporter of universal income. Her ideology and moral compass seems to be the opposite of politicians such as Johnson and Braverman, and I would put her here, about good. So in conclusion, it shows that not all politicians are the same. This is a small cross-section of MPs with extremes thrown in, but even here between average and awful we've got differing degrees. And on this side, between good and average, we've got Lucas and Sultana. I would suggest checking out your own MP. Do they have any skeletons in their cupboards? How do you think they'd rate on the awful politician measuring device? Click here for a bit of Brexit is Dead.